I guess I should say Happy New Year. First show of 2024, Delco Sports 360.com. We will be joined shortly here in the next 15, 20 minutes. Dennis Shaw, the first-year head coach of the Chester High football team, who had just an unbelievable year. Joining me on the show is also the producer, and hopefully we can hear you loud and clear, Ricky Oompa. So you graduated from Chester High in 1993.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
How long?
You?
Yeah, go ahead. What was your name?
Ricky Pope.
Ricky Pope. There you go. Okay.
Ricky Pope.
All right. How'd you get into broadcasting yourself, announcing here, working for CMP and Jean-Pierre?
Well, I like to talk. And I noticed that Jean-Pierre, I noticed P was doing a station, and I kept seeing it when I scroll a lot, and I'm newsy. I'm really newsy.
Right.
And I kept seeing this thing, the voice of Chester, and I saw some people that I grew up with coming in and having the heart to come and talk about some things that were going on. At first, I saw some joking, and I saw some, messing around, but I realized it was a real platform and a chance for the beautiful talents of Chester to, have a chance to come and speak out on what they know how to do and what they can do. And so I called him and I told him I got a couple of ideas, maybe we should link up. And he started telling me, because I didn't recognize at first, and he said, we know each other, this and that. When I looked, I recognized I already knew him. We've been friends for a long time.
Of course, yeah.
So, it hit off. It ended up being a good thing. I hope it's really good.
It's in year number 5 already here, cmpradio.net.
Yes.
We've had a couple of different studios. This is our newest one. We're right across on 5th Street.
Yes.
Right across the street from the legendary, historic Chester Post Office.
How long has that post office been there?
A long time, and I really should know that, but I don't know. I know how long the Chester High Sports Complex has been around.
Okay, how long has that been?
That was in the fall of 1951.
You got a good memory,
they've upheld it pretty much. Pretty good. We need, of course, new bleachers. We need a press box for next year.
Shout out to that.
Yeah, but what a job by the Chester High football team this year. And we'll get to that with Dennis a little bit later. We'll get your thoughts, but you've seen now Chester High basketball. What a tremendous year they're having.
Yeah.
The Chester High Clippers.
Hopefully we get that same support that we got at the state championship game.
The District 1.
Yeah.
That was unbelievable.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and hopefully, the Keith Taylor's done a great job. We've lost some kids over the years. They transferred away to the private schools, and they were studs and still are studs, and I follow them, and I wish them the best. But what Keith has done with these guys, they've worked extra hard, and they know they have an opportunity to get in there. We got 15 kids that can play.
They pumped up for success.
We're 8-1. We just had a miraculous win.
Yeah, the buzzer beater?
Floater. Well, actually, with 2.3 seconds they put on the clock by our quarterback, Jalen Harris, with the old Ty Garland back in the day for LaSalle, called it the Philly floater. This was the Chester floater from the high arcing shot. And it Chester beats Constitution, who's a AA school, but they're one of those. They're not technically
score.
Final 65-64.
Wow,
and the referee, the officiating was a little
funny.
It was a little funny, to say the least. I just don't get it, but it was not on our side.
Okay.
They whatever.
Wow.
And they called a lot of fouls on Chester. But anyway, we pulled it out. We're 8-1 now, Chester High. Our Chester Charter team is doing well with Dan Spangler, the head coach. Against very tough competition. They're single A. And the High, Chester High, we'll call them.
All right.
6A. And last year, we were 12-10, which is, for Chester standards, not very good. In Chester standards,
we going to the championship games.
You don't win a PIAA state championship.
Everybody going out to where they usually held them at. We always traveling to go watch the championship.
Well, we Hershey Park.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Hershey Park, and then State College for a bunch of years, and way back in the 50s, before you and I were born.
Every year you hear
54, 55 was at the Palestra. 57, I think that was at the Palestra also. Then 59 at the Palestra. You used to play at the Palestra.
I haven't seen you look at the paper once. You got all that stuff going on.
Well, I know the history of Chester basketball.
That's
yeah,
good. That's good.
But anyway, so they are at the 5A, the lower classification bracket. They would have made the District 1 tournament, and they had some quality wins last year. They could have made some noise, but they were in 6A. They just missed it. Okay. And it was the first time since 1969-70 season that Chester High boys basketball missed the postseason totally.
Wow.
So, yeah, we had 12-10. We beat Coatesville last year. We had a good win against Chichester. We beat Chambersburg, who had a nice run in the 6A tournament, but wasn't meant to be. But a lot of kids came back. Our football guys, Jalen and Deron Harris, are doing fantastic. They're really good basketball players.
Yeah, okay, so they're doing both, huh?
And they're very poised.
Okay.
Young guys. And it's a fun team to watch. Dom Toy's out there.
All right.
And he's doing a great job for us
Shout
in the
out
middle.
Dom. Shout out to you, Dom.
Yep. And, very, very impressed. Big win. And now they got a Del Val League game tomorrow against Academy Park. And it should be...
Academy Park's a good team?
They're trying to get back. They shut the whole program down. If you remember, in 2020... They shut the 2021. They didn't play basketball. So then new coach, my buddy Todd Rinn, and they're getting some wins. It's just tough. So it's his third year.
They're going to beat Chester.
But Chester is on a mission this year. And their only loss, mathematics, civics, and science. They might as well be a 6A powerhouse. They're a charter school from Philly, and they are a powerhouse, even though they're in the smaller school bracket. But they beat us pretty good here. But we're going to get better as the season goes on. And we're doing pretty well right now. Chester High 8-1. So I'm very, very happy with
8-1.
Coach Taylor and his staff.
Smokes.
That only lost to mathematics, civics, and science. Calvin Gilbert, major addition to the coaching staff, and his job is to keep the guys... as many kids as we can home. There's a lot of advantages.
I know that name.
Calvin, he's... I
know that name.
He was a CMP. He was...
older guy?
He was honored. Yeah, he got a big award. Yeah. No, he's young.
Oh, yeah. I know exactly
yeah.
what you're talking about now. I got you.
Yeah. So, great addition to the staff. Conrad Chambers, assistant coach. Jimmy Dennis, a member of the 1989 state championship team and 91 state semifinal team that lost to Glen Mills. He's on staff. We've got Darrell Moore, who played his sports, basketball and basketball mostly at Strathaven, but he's an awesome assistant coach. And the great Kenny Tate from class of 1998. And he was like probably 8th grade when you graduated, 1993. So, a great staff, and I'm wishing them the best. Chester Charter with Dan Spangler.
Oh, wow.
What a job he's done with that program. A couple of District 1 championships, single A. And Dan with Tom Bottoms, and one of his assistant coaches is a 2-time PIAA state champ for Chester High, Russell Johnson. Russell, as a freshman, was on the 2005 Chester State Championship team that beat Lower Marion. Darren Govins.
Lower Marion, where Kobe Bryant comes from.
Kobe, graduated 96.
Did you hear this thing they saying about 2024 is the Mamba mentality, the year of the Mamba mentality?
Well, Lower Marion, the boys basketball team is looking very good. Actually, I'm going to be public address announcer for their game tomorrow. They're 12-1.
Shout out to you. They're 12-1?
12-1. They lost to a team out in Arizona.
So they got some good stars on their team too.
He can reload every year. They got the
Yeah, I heard Kobe was putting money back into that school every year.
That helps.
Until the situation happened, God rest him.
Love to see them and Chester match up in the playoffs this year in the District 1 6A tournament. It could happen, but
Kobe used to tear our behinds up, man.
Well,
I used to come and watch him play.
We beat him his junior year.
Oh, you seen those
1995.
games too? Yeah.
I was not there at that game. It was 2 years after you graduated. We beat them in the District 1 championship at Villanova, 77-50. Chester High.
Remember the score.
And we were defending state champs with Ray Carroll and Maltzby and those guys. And
did you
Eric
see
Evans.
a great Kobe in that game, like a future
Well,
Kobe?
I never even saw video of that game, but I followed it, and he was a junior. Yeah, you could tell, even from his freshman year, but you never know he was going to go to the NBA. Then he got better and better, worked hard, 95, 96, and they ended up beating Chester twice that year.
Yeah, I remember.
District 1 championship game, close game, 61-53, and then they got us in the state state semifinals in overtime. And that was at Villanova also. It was insane.
Yeah, everybody came back talking about it.
Yeah, I was on the radio in Virginia at that time and drove all the way up, took about 7, 8 guys up to see Kobe, and it was a game of a lifetime. Unfortunately, we lost, and then Kobe won his only PIAA state championship, beating Erie Prep. 48-43, they played some triangle and went on in Erie Prep, but Kobe got it done.
You and that good memory.
Yeah, so there's my memory is pretty sharp here tonight on CMP Radio. But looking forward to talking with Coach Shaw. He's got to be proud of his football guys that are playing basketball. For Chester, we mentioned Jalen, who had the game-winning shot the other day, and Duran doing a tremendous job off the bench. Jalen wears number 35, and Duran 30, and Dom Toy number 5. Right. On Chester Charter, Imaj Barrett, number 18, wide receiver.
Okay, Barrett.
He should be playing college somewhere.
Damn,
definitely football.
They doing it all. They're trying.
He had 15 rebounds in Chester Charter's win the other day against Jenkintown. That game was actually played at Newman University in Aston.
Yeah,
it was awesome. And then we have Mr. Holmes, number 16.
So a lot of the players from the football team are on the basketball
Jaden Holmes,
team.
he's a junior, so he's doing a nice job for the Chester Charter boys basketball team. So it's a great thing, and we encourage here at CMP Radio and all over to play as many sports as you can.
There you go.
Makes you a better athlete, keeps you competitive, and try your best to play 3. If you're good at it, go ahead.
And they from Chester, so there's all kind of Chester talent that comes out of, man, all kind of NFL, NBA champions, people that play in major league sports, man.
Baseball, including baseball. Yeah, Danny Murtaugh.
We had a number 7. What was the guy's name on?
Will Hunter.
It's Chicago Bears. I think he played for the Chicago Bears.
Oh, Ronell Williams.
Yeah.
Oh no, not
Chester guy. I forgot his name.
Now I'm trying to think here. Ronell was coaching the Bears. Now he's assistant coach for the Eagles. Wow. Ronell Williams, class of 2010.
I didn't know that. Played
at Westchester.
I know they had a player. I think he was a running back, if I'm not mistaken. Played for Chicago. That was from Chester.
I'm blank on that. I know Kevin Jones, who's from Chester. He went to Cardinal O'Hara. He played for Detroit.
Played for Detroit. I apologize. My bad.
Yeah, played for the Lions. Yeah. He's a Chester guy. His dad, Tom.
He didn't go
St. James
guy. Chicago? He wasn't nobody from Chester that played for Chicago?
Yeah, I am losing my mind here. You have the thread up here? We could see actually people.
Let's see if we can get that going.
We have Tyrone Ricks. I can see his comment. Tent of Life is tuned in. And it's great to see. I've been on his show a bunch of times. And again, Dennis Shaw will be joining us a little bit later on. And again, we're live here, cmpradio.net. I look a little tired on TV. You remember I work in a warehouse.
Okay.
I had to go in a little bit early today, like 7:30, 8:40.
Are you the boss?
7:45. No, I'm the shipping specialist. My brother used to own the place. It's in Aston Township, Chester Township.
Okay.
Near the 2SP Brewery. There's a brewery and a big complex.
Burman, the name Burman carries.
Yeah, well, my dad.
Far and wide.
Actually, my dad, who just turned 86 years young, he started all this because he went to Chester High, graduated 55. My mom graduated 56. My dad started all this in 1965 after graduating from Temple Pharmacy. He started Burman's Pharmacy, 24th and Madison Streets.
Burman's
Pharmacy right across. There's a 7-Eleven there. There used to be a 7-Eleven there.
Yeah.
Angie's Market.
Yeah.
That's where he survived in 1982. Then we were on Edgemont Avenue.
Yeah.
I think they have a phone store there now.
It was one another Burman. Was that Burman's?
Well, the newsstand.
Madison Street.
Well, that was 24th and Madison. That was Burman. That's my dad started it.
I remember that.
And my brother took over. And then here we go. We got get the comments here. I wish Mark Francis. Nichols. Bilal Nichols. Okay, he's from Chester. I think he went to a high school in Delaware, and I can't remember the high school.
Bilal Nichols went to Chicago. I knew somebody was from Chester that went to Chicago.
Well, Bilal and John Mobley was mentioned too. Chester native, went to Chichester.
Yeah.
He played for the Denver Broncos. And
See
he
what I'm
won
saying,
two Super Bowls.
Oh, wow.
To John Mobley. That's Mark Francis Jr. checking in, the son of the late, great Mark Francis, and, of course, the late grandson of Bunky Francis, part of the old heads, used to hang out at the Chester
Still,
for
man, look at all the talent that comes. Is talent in Chester.
Yes. So, and I can't remember. I can't remember with the high school, but they almost the year Chester was undefeated in boys basketball, 2011-12.
Okay.
They almost beat Chester at a tournament at Widener University. I was still on the radio up in Central PA. Came down for that game and went overtime. And Bilal was a sophomore on that team, that high school from Delaware. So, yeah. So Mark, if you can remember, Francis, what high school Bilal went to in Delaware. And
Bilal's with the Raiders now. The Raiders coming up, by the way. The Raiders playing good football this
yes,
year.
Kenneth Cover checking in, and Bilal with the Nevada Raiders, right? Or
they changed.
they're
wow.
or did they just move to Nevada? Whatever. So
Florida Raiders.
Las Vegas Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders. Yeah, Las Vegas. All right, so Bilal's there now. Thank you guys for keeping me up to date. So yeah, John Mobley again. He went to Chichester.
Okay.
So, but there's guys from Chester that play for Chi.
Talent,
It's
unbelievable.
talent,
Don't be afraid to play, guys.
Another one, Lamar Campbell, and his dad is a Chester legend, Chris Leggett. Lamar went to Strathaven High School. He had a nice, tremendous college career at Wisconsin. Lamar graduated Strathaven '94. Then he had about 5-6 year career with the Detroit Lions. Another one who went to
Las
Detroit.
Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, so yeah,
Okay.
Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah,
Oh, you
Las
see what they're
Vegas.
saying? Okay, there you go. You see it better than me. These teams moving all over the place, but I will remember the Raiders beat the Eagles in the 1980 Super Bowl, January of '81.
I hope, speaking about the Eagles, I hope that they're just resting. These last, those 4 straight?
Well, let's see. They were 10-1. They still weren't playing that great, but they were winning. So you're talking that's
all of
11
those
games.
were tooth and nail.
The
You're
last
right.
6 games they've lost to 5 out of 6, and they are definitely going through the motions. But
I
now
hope that they explode in the playoffs. Whoever they just come out and be a whole different
Tampa
team.
Bay, who's not doing that well either. It doesn't matter who you.
Do we know who we playing in the first
Tampa
round?
Bay, and that's Monday night. Next Monday night,
Oh wow.
8:00 down there.
Oh wow.
So
Shout out to the Eagles. I'm
Yes.
still diehard Eagles fan.
Well, you gotta
Win or
stick with
lose,
it.
I'm
Yeah.
sticking with them. They're my team, and I think that we're just sleeping right now. We're going to wake up. The playbook is different. The tempo is different. It's time to play.
it
It's time
is,
to
and it
play.
is frustrating to see because you wanted them to get the top seed. They still had a shot there.
A lot of them hard games that them big teams that we beat.
Some of the
this year,
teams we
went-
lost to, though.
But we went in their house and with their behinds. Then in the beginning of the season,
Oh, Kansas City, yeah.
we went down there. Yeah, come on.
Yep.
If we could beat Kansas City in their home, you know how hard that is. We can beat. We can. Hope we wake up in the playoffs.
Well,
I
we did.
believe
We,
it.
the 49ers got us. Michelle Gandy's team.
That pissed me off.
Okay, yeah, and then we had the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Got us.
Yeah.
And I kind of like the Cowboys in a way. Oh, Philadelphia, but I know Micah Parsons well. I
21
used to,
guys,
I used to
CeeDee
announce
Lamb.
Mike at number 11.
Yeah.
I wish he was on the Eagles. But anyway, he's a Cowboy. So I like to follow him. I hope he does well.
Yeah.
Not the team, but I guess I have to root for any. I'm pretty anti-New York.
Really?
Not a big New York sports fan at all. It goes back to my college
Good.
days. So they have a 12-year drought. They have 9 teams in the metropolitan area, New York, and they have not won a championship since the Giants in 2011, who squeaked in, and then they beat the New England. So yeah, anything can happen when you get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
I saw Sirianni's press conference. Saw Dallas Goedert after the game, the interview with.
Everybody's supposed to be.
And they were just
Jalen
they were there. They said the right things to keep you interested at 0-0, and
Well, how we respond? Oh, we got to respond. Everything's respond. Did Jalen Hurts break his finger? His finger broke?
oh, he should be able to play with that.
Tape it up like they
Yes,
did.
we got all these. What is it? It's you got a whole solid week to go. So hopefully, you win a game, you go one game at a time. It's like the Phillies 2 years ago. They barely made the playoffs. They were limping into the playoffs, and I kept saying to my Facebook friends, I said, keep the faith. Burman, the Phillies suck. They shouldn't get there. They're going to lose.
You're not really Philly
and
fans
they got
if
in,
you do that.
and they went on a roll.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
So
you're
it
not
can't
a really
happen.
real Philly fan if you can't live and die with your team, man.
I was just happy to see the Phillies 2 years ago, just at least in the last week of the year, have a shot. Yes, they lost a few games that week, but the other teams behind them, especially Milwaukee,
Absolutely.
and that was it. So,
absolutely. I'm a diehard Philly fan. Doesn't matter.
how far back do you go? Of course, I go back to my first recollection of remembering what happened with 67 76ers with Will Chamberlain.
Julius Erving.
83. Yeah.
A whole long arm dunk on
It's our last world championship, 1983.
Darryl Dawkins breaking backboards. He couldn't slam the. Don't give him the ball. He's breaking the backboard.
He never won one he never won one in his career. He left in 82. We got Moses.
Then I remember we got Barkley and what was the guy that used to do the weird shot? What was his name, man?
You got me on that one, but I do know that
Shot it weird.
Steve Rose checking in, my buddy. The team that is hot coming into the playoffs is going places. Okay, well, in baseball it's different because look at the Atlanta Braves, what they've done. They've been hot. They tear it up. They get the last 2 years, and the Phillies beat them.
Yeah.
So you never know. We'll just see how it plays out.
Playoff changed everything.
Steelers is a big story. I know we have a lot of Steeler fans. Actually,
Pennsylvania. I'm
Pete,
for that too.
Yeah, but Peach Howard, public address announcer for Chester High boys and girls basketball, and Peach is also a longtime assistant football coach. We're going to give him a shout later on when Coach Shaw gets here. But he had a great day yesterday. This great weekend. His Steelers won, and they made the playoffs.
Oh wow!
Given a 5% chance.
So we got a two-team chance Pennsylvania team. That's cool.
Yeah, it happens. There's been twice where the Steelers made it 3 years ago, but the last time, I can't remember the last time the Steelers. I think it might have been. They haven't won a playoff game, the Steelers, since 2016. So there was a couple years. I think it was 2005. Yeah. They were in the AFC Championship game. We were in the NFC Championship.
Right, that's what
we won. About. They lost.
It was supposed. If they would have won, it would have been us against them. Correct.
The next one, I think, 2009. We were in. It's 2008. 2008. We were in the NFC Championship game. The Steelers, the AFC Championship game, and they got in. And they won the whole thing, and we lost to Arizona, the Cardinals. I got that right.
Fitzgerald tore our behinds up, right? It was Fitzgerald.
Yeah, Larry. Some of the calls were shaky, by the way. Mark Francis Jr. again, his first game in person that he watched. Sean Bradley, 7'4", I believe. And Derek Coleman played at Syracuse.
Yeah, Sean Bradley, I remember that guy.
Derek Coleman, great player at Syracuse, played with a guy who used to announce his games a lot back in the day, and he gave Chester and our Delco teams fits in the PIAA Boys Basketball State Tournament. Billy Owens from Carlisle won 4 straight state championships, Billy did. 85, 86, 87, 88. No joke. Mark, I know your dad and probably grandfather were at those games. They beat Chester 3 times in the state semis in that run. And the other year, 86, they beat Matt Blunden and Ridley. How do you like that for some history?
You're in your memory, dude. So
the CMP Radio, we're going to be joined here shortly. Let's look at the clock here. We've been talking 25 minutes. Coach Shaw should be here very, very shortly.
That's what sports do.
And
tall.
Well, I'm glad. What else do you do here at the station?
I do some engineering. I got a show I do on Friday, 8 o'clock, every Friday at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm finding humility through change. I try to bring explanations of faith. You know, we got rules and regulations such as the 10 Commandments, not to get too into it, but if we can find explanations to it and bring it, some tangible explanations that today's youth can grab or today's time, because we need it sometimes. It's one thing to read it and it's another thing to understand it. And if you can bring it home to people so they'll know why they're supposed to stay away or not stay away from certain things, it'll make it easier for the parents to teach them. So that's my thing, explanation.
Marcella Rich checking in. And Marcella is the proud mother of Chester High, the former coach and athletic director now, LaDante Bell. who got this high school football program going.
Okay.
And we were a little down.
Okay.
And he took over 2016 was his first year. It took a few years, and now we're a powerhouse, and we have a lot of guys back for next year. So I look forward to talking with Coach Shaw about that. Boy, I look ugly in these glasses.
Oh, don't say
I can't
that.
stand
Come
these
on,
glasses.
Dave. Stop it, man.
I can see.
You got it. You're good. 100%.
All right.
Good.
Well, I'm glad you're helping out. There are a lot of great programs here at cmpradio.net.
Yeah.
And they're all archived free because we rely on advertising on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yes. Correct. Hopefully it takes root and grows. You know, you help yourself by helping other people. And the city, it was once like I noticed since we've been doing the radio thing that the crime rate went down significantly, a whole lot. I don't hear ambulances and police sirens every 5 minutes. It's like every 5 days now, or if any, you know. And I like that. I shout out to everybody in Chester. Seems like everybody's stepping up. Somebody's stepping up. Each one teach one. I love it, man. Like hope is back
New Mayor
alive.
Stefan Roots, my man.
Okay. Yes.
Yes, and
yes,
I like
yes.
I like Mr. Kirkland. I try to stay away from. It's really hard.
Yeah.
I'm not a political
Politics.
person, but I have views on some things.
Okay.
But I like Thad Kirkland, nice guy. His brother's gotten our Hall of Fame. He tried his best. Now there's a change. We got Stefan in, and hopefully he can get things moving even
Fred
further.
Green.
And
Got Fred Green in there too.
Yes, Fred. So we have some political shows here too, right?
Yeah, they come in. They come sometimes.
Yeah,
They
my
come in.
nephew's really into it. Brett Burman. I don't know if he's ever been on the TV here, but he ran against John Kane.
I hope that a lot of things like some of the courts and play areas and things get built back up and they can come back outside and play again. They can come back outside and be kids again. Rebuild Chester and make it a growing community. Hopefully we can get a McDonald's or something, because it was for years they said, "No, we can't get none of those fast food joints because our city was so terrible, #1 crime rate, and they're gonna rob it." And so they never put a McDonald's or one of those fast food joints in Chester. We need one, something like that.
I would love to have a Wawa here.
You see what I'm saying? Still,
Yes.
the idea of something.
And I think they are thinking about building one in Chester.
Shout out to them and hope so. Hopefully we
Thought there was
change
an article,
that
yeah.
much that
Yeah.
they put money into it and really bring some light, because we're the only city in Delaware County, correct? It's only one city in Delaware County.
Everything else is a borough, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah. Upper Darby's a borough.
They all got Wawas. They all got.
Chichester's a
Come
borough.
on.
Chai's got a Wawa.
Come on. But they say that's our fault because we can't take care of nothing. Now that we've changed, I believe we should bring those things in. Give our city a chance. We
have a lot of
changed
we have businesses here.
Yeah,
See around,
I love that. I love it, but who knows? I don't
and
know.
a lot of churches.
Yes.
See, my mom, her side, a lot of people remember Elman's Variety Store. 3rd and Parker in Chester, right across, up the street from Mays Water Ice. They had that there, 1920s to Mays. It's called Elm. That's where my mom grew up.
Okay.
The church just burnt down, or the school across the street just burnt down. 3rd and Parker.
heard
William
a lot of
Penn's right
stuff
across. My
about
mom grew up there, and her
Wow.
sisters and brothers.
Your memory, dog.
Elman's Variety Store. So I grew
You
up.
got some good pictures then. I mean, you got some good old pictures of.
Yeah. Well, the Delco Times Archives, Chester Times Archives. It's
You
unbelievable.
should post those pictures. A lot of people would be interested in that stuff. A lot of stuff, just memory now.
Oh, I do. Facebook. I
Yes.
get them on there. I got a lot of sports stuff. I can be on there. Well, it's called newspapers.com. You got to subscribe, but I try to crop everything up
Yeah.
and try to
should.
brighten it a little bit.
You should.
Because of the history here of this town, as I like to call it, Marcella Rich, again, thanks for the thumbs up. Appreciate it. So, LaDante has done as an athletic director. It's not an easy job.
Got some good boxers coming out of Chester.
My
too.
grandfather is in the Hall of Fame.
There you go.
Bobby Burman.
There you go.
Delco Hall of Fame. And
Look that up.
we got a couple of Chester. Teresa Govins is going into our Delaware County Athletes Hall of Fame. We got, coming up.
Remember this? Didn't they do a movie? Sylvester Stallone was over here. This was that 3 years ago? They did that movie over here. I get it. I was over here. I tried to meet him. I didn't see him. I heard he was over here. But
So
Chester doing good things.
yeah. So have you've seen the basketball team play in person?
Not yet.
You saw the football team?
Yes.
Okay.
And
So
very
what was your
impressed.
most exciting game for Chester High football this year?
That championship game.
Oh,
I loved it.
What an unbelievable
Oh my
atmosphere.
God. I was losing my mind in the stands.
Well,
Oh my God.
Strathaven.
Shane Green. I'm gonna get you, Shane.
He's back next year. Fisher's back. Now I'm public address announcer for Strathaven basketball.
Yeah.
So James Fisher, the Delco Player of the Year, running back, he didn't go out for basketball this year.
I'm turning
That
around.
would have really
looking.
helped.
Every 5 minutes, I hear you go, Shane Green.
Shane Green, the ball
He's
carrier.
32.
Till the next week. I also
Oh, my
was
God.
PA guy when they played Imhotep Strathaven out
They
of
lost that
Coatesville.
game, right?
Yeah, it was Imhotep's Division I college team, pretty much. I mean, they were a great team, and they were just on fire. And our teams, historically, whoever
Brother
gets into
goes, I'm glad that Strathaven beat him because I didn't want to do that to my brother. I said, whoa.
No, they want to do. You want to win that game. So the atmosphere was unbelievable. So Strathaven used to be Nether Providence. It merged with Nether Providence, Swarthmore, back in what year? It was summer of '83 to become Swarthmore High School, Nether Providence High School merged, and they became Strathaven. Summer of '83. So back then it was when it was Nether Providence, it was Chester and Nether Providence used to play. So there was Chester and Wallingford going at it. So it was kind of that atmosphere, which on steroids.
Yeah.
Because it was just mob that day.
Yeah.
It was great to have the Strathaven band there. 400. Well, that day
cool.
they only had like
That was
300.
really cool. I saw that. That was really
Their
good.
fans loved our DJ. They said, Strathaven. Because most games are kind of just traditional with the cheerleaders and the band. It's a
Shout
high
out
school.
to DJ Santana.
They loved it's
And
DJ
GL.
Santana.
Yeah, shout-
They
he
loved
does an
him.
awesome job.
They loved the Chester cheerleaders. They loved the atmosphere. The game was unbelievable. Two different styles, and we
Yeah.
could have a rematch next year. Strathaven has controlled the ball. They've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah,
That was their
time. They had it every time. They were running the clock down.
10-minute drive, third quarter, and they just drew us off sides a couple times. We committed too many penalties, and they
Dropped too
took.
many balls.
We had some drop passes, yes, and we were a touchdown short, and we left some points on the
He had some
board.
bad flags too in that game. Questionable. I was.
Yeah, one was on the interference, I think, but yeah, we just next year hopefully a rematch. Now Garnet Valley drops down too; they dropped from 6A to 5A, so they'll be in the mix. Ruston will be back. Watch out for Ruston. Remember the kid that was unbelievable,
You got some upgrades, and man, I'm looking
Chase
forward
Hatton.
to it.
He's back.
I'm looking forward to
So
it.
it's going to be next year. We just got to take care of business. We need some games.
Strong backs. We need some strong.
Yeah, I
backs.
was going to ask Dennis that.
Whatever.
and
happened
hopefully
to the fullback position.
Yeah,
Wrong side.
yeah. Is that the side I can't? Yeah, you're coming in, and here's Coach Shaw. Okay, I did the same thing, Coach.
What's up, man?
All right, so it's going to be good to have Coach Shaw in here.
All right, everybody. Coach Shaw.
All right, all right. I got to take my sweatshirt off, my
Let
exit
me turn
six
it.
shirt.
What's up, baby?
Looking good. Looking good. Coach Shaw, here we go. All right, we had Marcella Rich chiming in. We've been talking. We talked for a half hour, me and him. Yeah, he could talk. My man. All right, so we got Coach Shaw, first year. And Ziggy Santana, the DJ, he liked the shout out. So, yeah, we're just talking about the atmosphere. We'll get to that Chester Strathaven. Of course, I lived kind of through that back in the day in the 60s and 70s with Nether Providence playing Chester in football. I mean, the games were, and they were early in the, and they were played early in the day too. All right, Coach, great year. Historic year, 12 wins, most ever, first ever trip to the District 1 championship game, and we can go on and on and on. Del Val champs for I think it's the second straight year, at least 2 straight years. So, what have you been doing? Besides, I see your Facebook updates. And
Yeah, man. I mean, we're right back to work. Obviously, terrific season, great season. Came up a little short. We don't really do moral victories, but this is something to build on. First year, so couldn't ask for a better first year, to be honest.
I know you're proud of the guys who are playing basketball here.
Absolutely.
We're talking about Mr. Holmes, number 16. Imaj Barrett had 15 rebounds and a Chester Charter win that I announced the other day. What a thrill for those kids from Chester Charter. They played the game at Newman, a college court. It was great. Newman University in Aston. And, of course, Dom and the Harris twins. They are tremendous basketball players, man. Yeah. And they play older. I think by playing in those crunch games in footballs really helped them. They're very poised out there.
Absolutely, yeah. Those guys are obviously like next level athletes. Jalen actually had the game winner the other night. He had a terrific block off the glass on one end, and then came out of the timeout and hit a game winner floater. So I've been at every basketball game, but it's great to see basketball teams 8-1.
Yes.
Whatever they dropped the early game, whatever. So did we, and they've been rolling ever since. I think they're on like a 7-game win streak. So they're rolling. So kudos to those guys. Kudos to coach getting them back on board. And it's the redemption tour, man. It's time to spin back on everybody that got us last year.
We were talking about that 12-10. A lot of schools would take that. I mean, we beat Coatesville last year. We had some quality wins. We beat Chichester. Coulda, shoulda, woulda twice. We beat a Chambersburg team. That was a 2000. Win number 2000 program history, and Chambersburg made a run. So we had some quality wins. We just couldn't get because 6A we didn't get enough points to play. We could have made some noise, but I know in Chester, and we were talking before the show, or during the show, state championship or failure in basketball,
and not even just basketball. Like that's where we're at with it for football as well. Like, I mean, like I said,
you got to have that mentality.
Yeah, no moral victories, but that's what we're doing.
All right, I'd love. I'd like to run down Dom Toy. What a year for Dom, playing great in basketball, and he was calmer than usual. Except Penwood they were pushing his buttons the other night. Yeah. I didn't like that at all.
Oh yeah, they put a little hit out. They had a guy come into the game to get him off of his rocker, and literally the guy came in, got a tech, never got back in the game. So
Dom got one first, which I don't know about that.
We gotta be. He's been used to that. Like you gotta react a certain type way, man. You can't let those dudes trick you out of your spot, man.
And they do it. Passive aggressively. These other guys, and because it was something that kid said from Penwood drove Dom ape crazy. So it went crazy. I can't say the other word. But anyway, he went nuts. But anyway, he was taken off the floor. Now, the TV broadcast that I watched,
he just went out to the hallway. But
they said, I thought the technical was on him, but it was on the guy from Penwood. Yeah. So that was his grandmom that took him out. All right, so she calmed him down. Then he came back later. It was great. Yeah. So anyway, great job, Dom. How about his football season? Tremendous.
Yeah, he had a tremendous year. He played humongous for us on defense this year. If he wanted to play defense in college, he could. So no surprise there. He held us down up front.
Larry McDaniel was unbelievable too.
Yes, Larry was another one who had a great year. Late towards the latter part of the season, obviously with Deshaun being out, he carried us with the run game. He was also one of our best leaders. Towards the end of the year as he matured.
He's back. Duran, the twin, yes. And Jalen, of course. What more can you say about those guys? Yeah. And Jalen, what happened to his numbers? We ran the ball more. There's so many haters out there. I can't stand it.
Yeah, what happened to his numbers was he had a 1,300-yard running back.
Right.
He had a backup running back, or the number 2 running back who ran for 500 yards.
Yep.
He had a wide receiver and his brother who ran for 200 yards at the running back position. So, yeah, he didn't have to throw the ball 30 times a game this year. So
a lot of penalties called. Can you imagine Duran at the?
Oh yeah.
I don't know why we get some of our plays are a little. Dennis, they're not your traditional old school Strathaven bunch tight formation. A lot of our stuff's creative,
yes.
And it seems like they don't. The referees, a lot of them don't give us to let us be creative.
Yeah, I mean, some penalties are warranted. Like, there's no excuse for offside stuff like that.
Oh yeah, the encroachment.
But there's been plenty of times where things were called that shouldn't be called throughout the course. We actually made a reel from this season of plays or penalties that were called that had no business being called. I went to the rules interpretations meeting prior to the season, and it was certain things that just should not have been called. Which I hate to say it, but these are things that Chester's been dealing with for a while, but we got to dismiss that. It's no like our kids, our program should be getting treated equally, which we just flat out don't, and everyone knows that.
I did Harrisburg football for many years, and they're very similar style to Chester.
Right.
They're very creative. They can make something out of nothing, and the athletic and everything. And they went through go through the same thing. You know,
Yes.
Micah Parsons was a part of that, unfortunately. But anyway, what a job by Duran and Jalen. Another guy that came on strong, number 4, Shamar Williams. He's back.
Absolutely. So he's back. He had a phenomenal year this year. He came on, filled some of the running back void for us, played big for us on defense. So those 3 guys coming back, man, like I said, it's actually those 4, the last 4 we ran off, Larry, Jalen, Shamar, and Duran. Duran, who should have been a guy that, I mean, in my opinion, he was the Delco Player of the Year by far, just because he does so much. And
I was pushing for.
Yeah, I mean, he was undoubtedly the player of the year in Delaware County. No one did what he did as far as versatility. Duran's stats or what he done this year was insane. 600 receiving yards, 7 touchdowns, 100 passing yards, 2 throwing touchdowns, 100 plus rushing yards, a touchdown. Defensively, 24 tackles, solo tackles, 7 interceptions, 3 of them returned for touchdowns, 2 punt returns for touchdowns, 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns, and also recorded a 70-yard punt in the season.
He was a very good punter.
Yes, he was his
as
a sophomore,
yeah.
all of which
Yes.
as a sophomore. So I mean, it is what it is. Like, we understand, like, whatever, but he was undoubtedly the best player in Delaware County.
Okay, impromptu award right here from CMP to Coach Shaw. Here we go. It is the certificate, need my glasses, certificate of appreciation, proudly presented to the Community Champion Award recipient, Dennis Shaw.
Oh, man, thanks, man.
Congrats.
Thanks, man.
I'm just going to
Appreciate
read off
y'all,
the.
yep.
Thank you for all you do for the youth in our community. We love and appreciate you. There it is.
Oh, my man,
Okay.
CP, man, appreciate y'all, man.
Dennis Shaw. Let me do this better here. So, that's right. We're on a delay. So, thank you. Standing ovation. So there you go, Coach.
Appreciate you.
There you go. Good stuff, CMP.
Thank you.
All right, you got it. Beautiful. That's in your trophy case right there. And all right, so Nari Melvin, I love that kid. He's a junior and he's back.
Yeah. Now Reed's a guy. He's gonna be a guy that we lean on a lot. He's been in a program. This will be his 3rd year. Actually, this will be his 4th year in the program. So he's a guy that we're hoping takes a tremendous leap this year.
Turtle, I got it right. Number 7.
Yeah.
Chico Singleton's grandson. Fat Mama's the track star.
sister.
I'm allowed to say that. That's his sister, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Kwame Cosby. He's a senior, going to having a big winter track season.
absolutely.
And could win. You never know what's going to happen in the spring. What are his college plans?
So he's still working on. He's still open. He had a lot of guys, a lot of schools like PSAC schools come in for him. So he's a guy that's still weighing his options. Tremendous athlete, be able to do whatever he wants at the next level, whether it's play football or run track. So he has the options.
You did something on Jayon today.
Oh
right?
yeah,
Burton.
Jayon's one of my favorite guys, man. He's just a leader. He actually went and spoke to the middle school prospects throughout the city today. I took him to the couple of the middle schools and have him speak just to the importance of academics and what is it like and what does it take to be a Chester Clipper.
There you go, baby. And Jayon is a sophomore.
Yeah, he'll be a junior. Cedric will also be a junior. Cedric is a guy that's going to play a big role for us this year. He got hurt in the scrimmage early this year, separated his shoulder, so he was out for the entire season. And I heard people screaming, "Oh yeah, we need a kicker! We need a kicker!" Well, Cedric was our kicker that we already brought. Like that was his priority. He was priority number 1 far as kicking. We just didn't have our kicker we just didn't have him the entire season. So.
The ever popular Steve Dale Jr.
Yeah, Sco had a tremendous senior year. He's another guy that's going to benefit from the season we have for us colleges. So kudos to him.
This kid here, Damon Fitzgerald, number 14. He'll be a junior next year. He could be
Yeah, he
gained
has
some weight. I mean,
Yeah.
an absolute stud.
So understanding that, like you said, gain some weight. He's got to get bigger in the weight room, which he will. A little more dedication. But he played big for us. He's actually going to play a pivotal role for us at wide receiver. Really good hands. So
DeAndre P.
yes, another one who needs to take a tremendous leap as far as maturity. He has all the physical attributes, everything that it takes to be a great player. Just gotta be a little bit more invested into what he wants to do if it happens to be football.
And the two football guys for Chester Charter, Jaden Holmes, who will be a senior next
Yes.
year, doing a nice job for the Sabres, and number 18, Amaj Barrett.
Yeah, Jaden will be a athlete for us. We'll move him around a lot, get some things done. Imaj is another one who had a bunch of schools come in, PSAC, Division II schools, Division III schools. His huddle highlights, his tape, his senior year tape was very, very, very good. So
You ought to see him ball basketball. Oh, man, he is just
unbelievable athlete.
hustle. It's great. And then we can go down the list here.
Zaheem Sabri, we call him baseball. He's another one that's gonna fill in some athlete role as far as like jet sweep, screen passes, and stuff like that. Obviously, Deshaun Jackson. We know the season that he had, ran for 1,300 yards in about 8 games. A guy that if he did play the entire season, he would have ran for 2K this year, and he would have been Delco Player of the Year. But we missed him. We missed him in the district championship game. Obviously, you want to be at full force, but it is what it is. He's a guy that teams are going to have to deal with for the entirety of the season next year, and it's going to be a good one.
I've seen a lot of transfers, and the Philadelphia, it's called the Philly Digest. They put a Philadelphia Boys Basketball Catholic League preview, very deep, and they'll say where the kids transferred from.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of Jersey kids in the and they'll say what year
I
you're going
don't know
into.
about that group.
Exactly. So anyway, they were talking about Roman has like 5 transfers coming in, and you know me, I'm all for the kids to play. And 4 though are going to be juniors this year. So I was asking somebody, a lot of people are like, "Oh my God, Roman! I thought they lost 4 starters, but they got all these guys." And they said a lot of these Catholic schools have found a way now. They learned something last year because a lot of guys were ineligible. They found a way to make these guys eligible for the PIAA state tournament, even though their big thing is.
I don't believe that.
So we'll find out.
Yeah.
Then it'll all surface.
Yeah, they're not budging. District 1 hasn't been budging far as allowing kids to play.
This is District 12, though.
District 12. Oh yeah, Roman's in District 12.
Yeah, so because last year if they had those 2 starters, they probably would have beaten Reading in the state finals. But anyway, yeah, it's a damn shame what happened to Deshaun. But anyway, he handled it so well. He was funny on the bench.
He showed his leadership by far. He was at practice helping the guys. He'd be on the sideline. He was either doing the chains or coaching, or he handled it. He handled it like a true champ. And I think that will mold him for next year. It's just straight turn up.
I didn't recognize him. I think it was the Upper Moreland game after the game, and he's who's this? I mean, I don't know if it was you or your brother. He said, who are you? I didn't recognize him with a hat on. He had a hood on or something like that.
Oh, okay.
He said, "Oh, I'm an assistant coach." And then somebody, "It's me, Deshaun." He took his okay. All right, so yeah, great year. He's back, and Mr. Chambers.
Yeah,
so I'm just
Joe's a senior. Yeah, he's a senior. He came on. He played this year, so we got Trey. Trey's another one. He'll be a senior. He'll be another one that gets a lot of burn as far as in the secondary and at wide receiver.
I heard a lot of good things about
Yes.
his sister's a really good basketball player for the
So
Chester
Sire,
High. Yeah.
Sire actually missed a good part of the season with a concussion, but high hopes for him, man. He's a phenomenal young talent, corner, long, rangy, can play the position very well, but more importantly than all of that, he has the work ethic.
Our DJ, Zion Santana, his son's awesome. Freshman, he played beyond his years.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of work ethic, he's another one who's he has it. Got to get bigger, stronger, faster. He's up for the challenge. He's running track. He's throwing.
Yes.
He's lifting. And this is out the course of the day. He goes and trains with my brother Dion at Fort Delco gym. So he's a guy like Zion. He's gonna be a special talent.
I like this kid, Damon Harding.
Yes, Day-Day's another one. A little bit more on the commitment side we need to get from him, but he's a talent, no doubt.
And
Nakai played a lot for us special teams wise. He'll be a guy that like leads that special teams group this year, along with Jabray Davis, Shane, G.I., Jamar, Keyshawn.
I better learn how to pronounce these names.
Those
Cats.
dudes, yes, these Kates. Those dudes are all like guys that were younger. They got a lot of spin on the JV side, so they'll be coming up.
What this young man has been
sir.
through in his life,
Yeah.
and Wayne Clark, number 38, and he's back.
Yes, Wayne is back. He's going to be one of, if not one of our leaders on the, if not the leader on our defense, and we're expecting big things from him. Quiet kid, but plays with a chip on his shoulder. Very, very physical. He made major leaps this year from his sophomore year into his junior year, and I believe in his senior year he's going to take off.
I remember doing this. Seems like a long time ago, but it was like I think it was August.
Yeah.
You and you had no voice. Sorry, I think was
Yeah,
it ever?
yeah.
All right, so we go. The voice is there tonight. Lawler.
Yeah, Sinai was another one. He was a special teams guy for us. Aleem, Earl, Evan. Those are all like guys. Aleem's actually a younger guy, which we're expecting. He's a very, very, very good receiver. So we're anxious to see where he lands at.
Now, Waikiki, where's he? He's a college.
Yeah, Waikiki, he's weighing his options right now. A bunch of schools came in. His huddle film, like Waikiki was a late bloomer for us, but his huddle film is decent. A couple schools like this huddle film, along with Lemire. Lemire is one of our smarter kids, one of our most aggressive kids, and he plays with a chip on his shoulder. So he'll wind up at a school. We can try to.
Oh, okay.
That's something that's that we're working on. So hopefully it turns out in his favor.
A lot of bloodlines with this guy.
Absolutely, Isaiah Payne. He came on late. He actually got hurt, but he'll be our top offensive lineman for sure this year. So we're expecting big things out of him. Danny was a guy that came on as late. Solomon's another one. Just has to mature. He has all the physical attributes, all the upside in the world. He just has to mature and be ready to.
Yeah, 55. Solomon Dotson, grandson of the great Chester High basketball coach, two-time PIAA state champ Alonzo Lewis, and his mom was a great athlete also. Yeah.
Absolutely. Judah and Damon Moore, Dolo, we call him Dolo. He was those two guys were seniors. They played pivotal roles for us. Zane Tillery, who it seemed like he's been with us, we call him Till, seems like he's been with us for 15 years. But he's a guy, along with Isaiah Payne up front offensively, very, very, very blessed to have him back. He actually finished the season very, very, very strong. So we're anxious to see.
Zane will be back.
Zane will be back, yes.
Frisbee, yeah.
Yeah, Damir, we're going to look to get him a role somewhere. Jerry Young, he seems like he was with us for 15 years as well. Just some little things he needs to work on and tweak for us, him getting into college on the next level. Isaiah Emmons is another younger guy. Josh is a guy that we're trying to find a role for. Jalen Johnson, also a CCSA guy. He played big for us this year. Shamaj,
There's the two guys I got my picture with.
The big fellas, man. Shamaj, Henry, and Josiah Smokes, 266, 350 plus guys. We got to get something from those guys this year. They've been working hard. I actually think Samaj is down 40 pounds. We got to get something for those guys, and we're expecting big things out of them, man.
Yeah, and it doesn't how big you are, but it helps. But the technique,
absolutely,
and everything,
absolutely.
And
those guys are, like I said, those guys are. We opened the weight room up last week. Those guys were there the first ones there, so they're up for the challenge.
All right, yeah, then we got
we have a lot coming back, man. We had a phenomenal year this year, but I mean, it's encore time, so
yeah. Your coaching staff, let's run that. First, Ken Santello, what a great trainer.
Oh, yeah,
all right.
yeah, my man Ken, yep.
We'll start with him. Peach Howard, the legend.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You need the old head on the staff.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And then the other guys.
Yeah, so we got who we got? We got
Muse.
We got Coach Muse, who does a decent job with our QBs. We got
Richardson, right?
He got technically a coach, but he helped us out. Coach Evan, Coach Green, Daki.
Daki, yep, saw him the other day.
Coach
Yep.
Baldy, My cousin, Coach Lamar, was the offensive coordinator. I don't know if I said Coach Moss, who's the defensive coordinator. Coach Evan. Trying to think who else I missed. Oh, Coach Billy, who has the running back.
Coach Mack,
Coach Jay Scott, who has the wide receivers. And Coach McCarthy, obviously, does a good job with our stuff as far as our kids in school and in the classroom and making sure everything's up to par. Who else did I miss anyone? I don't think I missed anybody.
Okay. If you're watching, check it out. Coach
Swag. My man Nudie.
Okay.
Another
Nudie.
kid.
Okay, so he also coaches.
He coaches youth ball, which is a tremendous thing. They don't understand how blessed they are to have a coach like Coach Nudie coaching them. So
let's talk about our feeder programs. Our feeder programs are really.
I forgot Coach June. That's who I forgot. Coach Nelson, he got the safeties. You know him, high energy guy. So another asset to have on the staff as well.
And the feeder programs you're talking about here, with Charles Thompson, the Upland.
Yeah. So over the years, obviously we understand the nature of our feeder programs. Really good, very talented. So we just got to keep building on that, enhance our knowledge. I actually was just on a Zoom call with AD Bell and a bunch of the youth coaches, the ones that joined, about the Glacier clinics and just enhancing our knowledge of the game and working with one another so that our jargon and our terminology is the same by the time the kids get up to our level. It's less job that we have to do. So
to take the next step, we could run into Strathaven again. Yeah. You never know. Ruston's going to be in the mix.
I forgot my man Mill Maddock, baby. How can we? My fault, Bill. Can't forget Jamil, man. The best trainer, the best manager around, man. I want to say he's 16, but he's 35 in the mind, man. Great kid.
Mr. Gethers helps out.
Yes, sir. Bill Maddock.
Yep. So, So there are a lot of good teams are going to come back. But have you finalized your schedule, regular season? Schedule?
We're still. I think we have 2 games. It's just so difficult with the games, especially when Chestmont decided to drop their partnership with Del Val. So we're looking for a game later in October, early in September.
Who do you have so far?
So we have Perk Valley week 1
up there.
We up there. We owe them from last year. So.
Yeah.
We have week 2. I want to say we have West Philly. Week 3 we have Emotep, so that'll be a good game for us.
Yeah, they're going to be 6A next year.
They'll be 6A. They're coming back. They're the
Jabri Wallace Coleman. He'll be in there.
Champions. So we have them on the schedule. Your prototypical basic Del Val teams that we have, the Del Val schedule, basic Del Val schedule that we have, and that's it right now. So. It's like the scheduling was actually pretty difficult. We're still working on it. Like I said, we got those games dropped, so there's no down in town. There's no Westchester East. There's no Westchester Henderson.
My Harrisburg people would love to see a Chester-Harrisburg football game.
Yeah. Hopefully somewhere in the near future we can make it happen.
Yeah, the kids, they would love that. The Harrisburg, come down here or up there. It'd be awesome.
Yeah. So it's a bunch of teams that's coming back. That's real good. We're going to be real good, so we're up for the challenge. I want to think Garnet Valley's coming down to 5A. However,
yes.
I don't understand. I'm not going to get into the specifics, but I don't understand how they're coming down to 5A. But I guess it's not for me to understand. So we'll see. We'll see, man. I mean, we'll be right there in the thick of things, and hopefully things go a little bit different. We would love to get a rematch at some point. We hope that it pans out at that point. So
they're going to have
So we put
32 back.
So we put together a better product.
We're coming for you.
We don't have 16 penalties. Hopefully we don't have 16 penalties this go around. We don't drop a touchdown pass, and we just play our best game of the season and not our worst game of the season outside of week 1. So
it's awesome. And let's say there's people out there, there's kids, families, they want to play football for Chester High. Can they contact you?
Yeah. Well, our social media outlets are very, very, very active. Like there's something literally probably 4 or 5 times throughout the course of the week. We make our our Instagram's Exit 6 Football. A lot of things are posted on the Clipper Shipyard if you're on Facebook, but Instagram mainly. We're controlling. Coach Sam does a great job controlling the media and putting out directories and everything. It's just we're on top of our game. Like we don't just stop as soon as the season over. Like we're nonstop updating information, targeting guys, doing things. We put the workouts. We opened up the workouts last week. They're available to the They're available to the 8th graders that are actually in the district if they want to come out, get early workout. And the guys that are coming back, we've been locked and loaded, man. Like I said, it was a terrific year last year, but that's over. Like it's district championship, state championship. Understand that we were 2 games away from the state championship,
Right.
So it's something that our guys are up for the challenge.
Well, congrats to your brother. I mean, you got a chip.
Oh, yeah,
You got a
absolutely.
chip.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he it's almost like he's assistant coach for Chester sometimes too.
Yeah. He's always going to come. He's always going to come help. He's always going to come help. So I actually went to the to the state championship game. I was on the sideline with my brother at Rutgers. Obviously, they were recruiting a bunch of the guys.
You're out of Cumberland Valley High School.
Yeah,
Nice,
so
nice
it was
out there.
nice setting. I actually talked to a bunch of their coaches. So it was a great year for us Shaws as coaches. My brother Rutgers won a bowl game, the Pinstripe Bowl against Miami at Yankee Stadium. It was a great time being there. So yeah, man, it's like I said, it's what can you do for an encore? And we're coming, man. Like we're coming. I see Exit 6 merch. Yeah, that's something that we're working on. That's something that we're working on for the upcoming year. A lot of people ask like, "Yo, how I get that? How I get that?" I'm like, "You can't." But
How can they get that? How can they?
but we will definitely. We actually started selling a lot of the stuff
At the games.
At the games, and that's something that we'll have from week 1 on. So there'll always be a chance. We're going to get some things. We're working on actually our website so that we can directly go and we can have our own Exit 6 football merchandise where we see the proceeds and stuff like that. So
good.
it's all being reciprocated back into
Yeah.
the program. So that's the main thing.
Great. All right, Dennis, thanks a lot for joining me, and enjoy the national championship college football tonight.
sir.
I'm rooting for Michigan.
I like Michigan.
They're Big
I like
Ten.
Michigan. I think Harbaugh's out of there once they win.
Yeah, it could be some Harbaugh history if the Ravens win the world championship, and then his brother, the two brothers could be champions. But we'll see. You have to see what happens tonight. But anyway, just awesome stuff, and thanks for coming out. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely, no
And
problem.
I like when you guys give me some scoop. I like to promote the guys,
absolutely,
man.
absolutely. We're like I said, we're always like social media is a big thing. It is the thing as far as like endorsing your guys. We've had so many colleges come in like, yo, we just pay attention to you guys. We know who you guys are. Like I had the University of Pitt in, I had Ohio State in, I had Penn State in, like big time. I had Rutgers in, Syracuse, West Virginia, big time coaches just like, and big time schools coming in and recruiting our guys, which hasn't happened in the past. So it's like, that's the outlet. And it starts with them being student athletes and handling their business in the classroom. And then the next step, making sure that the coaches has the resources so these guys can display their talent on a national level. So it's been great, man. Last couple of years has been great. Year 1's in the books, and it's time to get it cracking, man.
All right, congrats, Dennis, on the award. I know that it's not about you, but you've done a great job. Really,
Yeah, appreciate you, man.
And Coach Bell, the athletic director,
Yep.
and good luck to the Clipper basketball team
Yes,
the rest
sir.
of the year. Some great
Let's go.
games.
We got it going on tomorrow. We got AP tomorrow. They
Yep.
come in the clip joint tomorrow. We're gonna run down on them.
There you go. I love it. And hopefully you go see the Sabres get out there and play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I haven't made it to a CCSA game yet. The schedule be a little bit crazy. Their
Yeah,
schedule's a
they play. We play. I'm doing Wednesday at 5:30.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to make it. I'm trying to make it to their game for sure.
So, and I do Strathaven basketball.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
and Fisher didn't come out and play. He didn't. James Fisher didn't come out for basketball.
Decent athlete.
I know.
Sure, yeah.
Hopefully next year he'll change his mind because he started. But all right, Dennis Shaw, thank
Yep.
you very much,
Appreciate
Chester
y'all,
High.
man. Yep.
My man Oompa, thank you very much,
sir.
engineer.
Have a good night.
All right, Exit 6, I love it, and that is a wrap. Delco Sports 360. I'm Dave Burman.